To create that sound on the trumpet, we basically need to start with a vibration from the lips, and that is almost closing the lips and blowing air through that tension of the lips. Putting that into the mouthpiece creates this sound, a very buzzy sound. And the way we form the different notes and put them in the proper pitch is with our embouchure. The embouchure is actually the formation of the lips to create the right shape in the cup of the mouthpiece so that we get a good sound. So on this modern C trumpet, we have three piston valves. On these valves, we have the harmonic series that we focus on. There are 7 positions in this harmonic series, and we can create a number of different notes just by depressing these valves. Every time I press one of the valves, you're going to hear the notes go a bit lower. So we're going to go through the range basically of low F sharp below low C to the high C on the modern C trumpet. The difference in the range is based on the tension of the lips. So the lips open just a bit more in the lower register, and then they tighten a bit more to go in the upper register. When we articulate on the instrument, we say a consonant like tu. So if I say tu, 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 tu into the trumpet, we get more of a fanfare kind of typical trumpet call. And again, if I depress the valves, we're going to get different pitches in those harmonic series and the 7 different positions. Again, all by saying tu and having the lips forward and creating a brilliant and brassy sound. So the first recorded history of the trumpet as an instrument is in the 1500s, and there was a trumpet player by the name of John Blank, who was Henry VII's court trumpet player. At that time, the instrument was basically the mouthpiece going into a lead pipe with a bell. There were no holes or valves at that time, so you could only create a certain amount of harmonics. Now, obviously on the modern instrument with the 3 different valves, we can create all sorts of other sounds, and the chromatic capabilities of the instrument have changed it from a more archaic and military instrument to a real solo and musical instrument. The B-flat trumpet is used a lot in military bands, but also concert bands and in jazz. So when you hear trumpet in a jazz form, the B-flat trumpet is typically used. This C trumpet is one that I play in the Montreal Symphony Orchestra. I use it because it's a little bit brighter and projects clearly through the orchestra and the texture of the orchestra. We also have a D trumpet, which would be used in something like Handel's Messiah for a piece as famous as The Trumpet Shall Sound. And we have the E-flat trumpet used in Haydn and Hummel's famous trumpet concertos. In order to adjust the intonation of the instrument, we have one good option, which is the main tuning slide. If I take that out, you'll see that it's not that long, but it can make a big difference in the quality of the sound and intonation. It's a big difference, right? But in order to play with different orchestras around the world and different ensembles and different players, sometimes we have to adjust the pitch to make us all harmonious and in tune. In addition, we have the 3rd slide and the 1st slide, that in some of the lower partials, we're able to adjust the intonation there to make the sound quality better. So it doesn't take much, but it's just enough for us to be able to make a more pleasant and tuneful sound. So in order to maintain the instrument, well, obviously we need to polish it with a good polishing cloth. I like my instrument shiny, so that's something that I try to do on a regular basis. But also the slides, we have to add some oil in order for them to move well. And the valves, which I should be able to take out, we're able to oil those valves so that they work smoothly and efficiently, quickly, in order to play faster passages. So Flight of the Bumblebee, we have to make sure the valves are oiled really well. So also what's really important is what I call breath control. A lot of times younger players go to the instrument and they overblow. They think in order to make a big sound that they have to blow beyond the instrument. And really, controlling the sound of the instrument could be as simple as maybe blowing on a piece of paper and understanding that your breath has to be controlled. If I want to play louder on that note, I just need to support with a little bit more air, not much. And if I want to go even louder, then I'm really going to have to take a big breath and really project that air through the instrument. That requires more control from the diaphragm, so a little bit lower in the body. Personally, I do a lot of sports, try to do sports several times a week to keep my body in shape and my breath in shape, and also my mind in shape, because to play an instrument at a high level requires a maximum amount of concentration as well as a good physical level. With breath control, if you take a large breath in, you should be able to then blow out over a long period of time. Don't expel all your air at one time. If I play a really long passage, I'm trying to think that my breath should reflect that passage. And I even have some air left over. But that comes through many hours in the practice room, understanding how much air you have to take in and how to very carefully, in a disciplined and controlled manner, release the air through the instrument to make your best sound. So remember, if you're thinking about taking up the instrument or you're playing currently, remember that breathing is so important. The vibration of the lips, the formation of the embouchure, the production with the valves, the consistency of the valve work, the quality of the sound, these are the most important aspects that you can think about. And I have to say that also if you're looking for further inspiration, some of my colleagues that play around the world, like Alison Balsam, like Wynton Marsalis, like Tina Thing-Helseth, Håkan Hardenberger, Sergei Nakarayakov, just to name a few, have wonderful recordings and are great reference material for your future inspiration.